Okay, here we are at, oh god, that's my catfish. So here we are, dead of night, and back to editing videos, and today's video is actually going to be out there for all you hobbyists and you breeders alike, and I'm calling it how to repair your German ram relationship. You have rams choosing each other as partners, and they'll choose, they're very good at partnering for life. The problem is sometimes those lives aren't as long as you want them to be, and in this case Sista, our German blue ram here, had paired naturally with a Mista. We actually saw them at a fish shop, and it's a huge thing when you go to a fish shop and you find two of these guys hanging out together, defending territory together as juveniles at an affordable price, and you pick them up. So we picked them up, and they went ahead and grew up together and had a total of 11 successful spawns, two of which are now growing out and have been the subject of several videos of ours. But since the 11th spawn, Mista got a little bit anxious, aggressive, and we had to separate him. What you're going to be seeing now is footage of our attempts to repair the relationship. And you've heard me say that sometimes we'll be putting them in timeout. That's literally separating them from each other when it becomes apparent that one is being aggressive and the other one's life is in danger. Again, if you've done this long enough, especially with this breed, you know that their aggression gets blind and it will take out a partner. You hope that it can repair itself, but sometimes, well, watch the video. I'll show you what's going on. Alright, repairing a ram relationship. Here we go. Quick update. We have reintroduced Mista with Sista, and after the usual acclimation and distracting brine shrimp and feeding, looks like they're cleaning a pot. So next video will be either an image of the dead body, which could be either of them realistically, or maybe the next spawn. Dang, we gotta make some room. On a serious note though, this is one of the most delicate moments we experience in ram breeding, which is reintroduction after separation. Usually when they're young, but the older they get, sometimes it just doesn't work out. Ah, come on, mister. Be nice. That's a dominant male. That's a frightened female. Come on. Clean the pot. Clean the pot. Clean the pot. So, quick update. We now have Sista, Mista, and Rose. Okay, so that was Rose. Rose, and why do we name... I don't name them. My other half does. My better half. And Sista and Mista were her names, but Rose was my name because Rose took out the last two male partners she had. And so we decided to call her Rose the Axe Murderer, from Mike Myers' 1990s movie. So I married an axe murderer, and Rose was the actual axe murderer. We also had a Harriet, but that's another story. So yeah, so Rose got introduced, and well, here's the results of that pairing. Threesome. Kinky fish stuff. Kind of. Not really. I figure, what if there's two of them? Maybe it'll distract him from being the asshole that he's been. And I don't know if I'm just doing this entire threesome. But two females, one male. Hope it works out. We'll see. Oh man, dude. Yeah, so omitted here was the footage of this beautiful lady, Sista, being harassed by Mista, and actually Rose coming to her defense. But it became apparent that Rose really is more of an alpha female, Mista is that dominant male, and Sista was the odd girl out. So we took her out of the tank, unfortunately. But as you could see, she's in her own new tank, and we're going to try to hook her up with somebody else. But here's what happens next between Rose and the now paired up Mista. Okay, quick update. Well, when we last left the tank, we had Rose, the axe murderer, and Mista, Rose and Mista, who were forced to pair. What has happened is Mista is now guarding their first spawn. Yeah, take a look over there. And long story short, what happens is the male wants to breed. He wants to spawn. And whether or not the female wants to, he will be very persistent in pursuing her. And that'll be the cause of some serious issues, including death. I mean, literally, it's love taps that turn into, well, blunt force trauma. But you can tell that they're not a natural pair because he now no longer wants her anywhere near the eggs. So, again, experience has taught us that natural pairs are the best, but you can and you will, because this is what the world is like, you will get two strangers to pair and they will reproduce. And in this case, I am not going to remove this clutch. I'm going to hopefully have them bond over these babies, which would go either one of two ways. One, they bond and they protect the babies and they become good parents. Or two, he sees it as his babies, doesn't recognize her as the mother, and kills her, and I have a floating body by the afternoon. But again, quick update. The first spawn from Rose and Mista. And, oh my gosh, if this is a successful spawn, look at the, imagine what they're going to look like. Oh. And again, Rose is the axe murderer, and she's responsible for, well, allegedly responsible for the death of two previous males. So let's just see where this goes. Again, quick update. God, they're beautiful. Alright, I've given them their post-spawning treat of brine shrimp because 1, she's depleted, and 2, he needs to have some sort of distraction so he doesn't see her as a threat. So if the food supply is plentiful, his behavior should be a lot more benign. But again, we've got a very anxious male and a very well, a female that's been known for disposing of her partners. I do not know how this is going to turn out, but I am not going to be removing the eggs, and we will see where this goes. So eat up. It's all happy, happy, joy, joy for the moment. Hopefully you're spawning again in a week or 2, and we'll be looking forward to a nice new pairing. Yeah, so it's been a couple of days, and basically their clutch didn't survive. We didn't try to save it, but they ended up tending to it together, and both Sista and Mista are kind of on their own now. Mista with Rose, and as a new bonded pair, a repair. Hopefully they don't kill each other, but I wouldn't be surprised if, again, I find a body sometime tomorrow morning. But Sista, on the other hand, is obviously not going to be pairing up with Mista, but we do have another male that we're going to try to do literally the same process. So quick review, you know, when you identify a fish pairing that isn't working out, separate them immediately. Whichever one is the more dominant one is the one you probably want to take out first. And frankly, if you're going to try to repair a relationship, in this case, we took Mista out. We got Sista stronger and healthy, and we tried to repair the relationship. Literally after she kind of regained her strength and seemed like she was ready to spawn and breed, but it didn't work out. So at that point we tried to introduce, like I said, a third female, in this case Rose. And although, you know, that has worked for some people, in this case it didn't. And we realized that Sista would have been not a distraction but a potential victim. So we removed her. So eventually, in this case, you know, you kind of got to go with the flow. So Rose and Mista end up together. Sista is the odd girl out, but you do your best to try to get them back together. You want them to be healthy when you try to repair them, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. So stay tuned to see how this repair job works out. Hopefully Mista and Rose will be on a future spawn, and maybe I'll show you if Sista finds love in another tank. Alright, I'm gonna go to sleep, set my lineup. Fantasy Football Week 3, yay, 0-2, not so good.